What's up, y'all? This is Carla, aka C Little Poet, and I'm just gonna talk about my thoughts tonight. I'm just thinking about genealogy and identity. Uh, Today was Labor Day. Usually, I would be on the parkway with my children, celebrating my heritage, but because of COVID-19, we weren't able to do that, so it was virtual this year. I just want to take this time to pay homage to my grandmother on my mother's side of the family. She was Jamaican, and I'm a mixed breed. I'm, part Puerto Rican and part Jamaican, mixed with a lot of other stuff. I did one of those DNA ethnology tests, but I go by those two nations because that's the experience I had growing up. That's the type of culture that I was exposed to. That was the type of music I listened to and stuff like that. So I'll start off by showing you my flag here. Hopefully y'all saw that. And I'm just going to read a little bit about my grandma. She's the one that was from Kingston on my mom's side. So her name was Carmina White Scott. She was my beloved grandma. She was born November 28th, 1936, to Alan Johnston and Vashti Adora Reese in Kingston, Jamaica. She was headstrong, hardworking, independent woman. She loved us with her generosity and her actions, and she was a savvy businesswoman. She at one time I believe she worked like 3 different jobs. Eventually, she bought a house, and we all used to live in that house until I moved away because of DV. She loved West Indian banana bread. She used to cook some of the best steak and potatoes with brown sauce that I ever tasted. She was feisty, stubborn, and strong-willed, but she loved people. She cared and she listened and she loved. She had a temper, but I understood the difficult life that she had. She didn't like when people disrespected her, and she made sure that she stood up for herself. Towards the end of her life, she spoke to me about many different things. You know, she spoke to me about her concerns. She shared stories about her father and her brothers and her half-brother and half-sister Catherine. I really treasure the times that I had with her. She told me about her son Dane Robotham. That was her first son. And, he was a traveler. He traveled around the world to different places. He used to write her letters. My grandmother was an amazing person. She loved my children. She loved my nephew Elijah. She loved me. She loved the family. She loved Jennifer, Jahira, Rosa, Marcos, and Sharon, and Felix. Those are some of the foster kids that she had, but they were like family to her. And, she spoke about Salvina, one of her good friends, that she kept, throughout her whole life. I just really, really miss her. She represents, the West Indian, mainly West Indian side of my heritage. I know that Puerto Rico is in the West Indies, but when people think of West Indian, they probably think of more the other islands like St. Kitts, Jamaica, Bahamas, and islands of that nature. Because sometimes Puerto Rico is, it's kind of described as being a part of like Latin America or whatever, but I know it's a part of the West Indies. But my grandmother represents, the Jamaican heritage, the Jamaican side of me. I did a little bit of research on her through Ancestry.com, ancestry, and I found out that she lived in a parish called St. Andrew at one time. St. Andrew is a place where a lot of musicians come from. You know, it contains like a famous studio called Studio One. It was opened up by Clement Coxone Dodd, and the likes of Buju Banton and Lady Saw, Richie Spice, Bounty Killer, you know, Elephant Man, Sean Paul. All of them kind of hail from that parish and that area, you know. And another part of St. Andrew is Trenchtown, and that's where Bob Marley and Bunny Wailer, Shabba Ranks came from, somewhere over there. It just makes me proud, when I think about the other side of my heritage. I embrace it all. I don't just, you know, scratch one heritage for my other heritage. I celebrate both of them equally, and I'm just reminded on today of Jamaica, and that side of my ancestry, and, just like where, they come from, and, the things that were instilled in me, through my relative, which was my grandmother. May she rest in peace. I really, really miss her. And I just wanted to share, my thoughts. It's kind of a sleepless night for me, and I just wanted to let y'all know a little bit about who my grandmother was, where she came from, which was in Jamaica, and, how much she meant to me. All right, y'all. Peace.